Hi everyone. Today we are going to practice doing some addition problems together. We're going to solve these addition problems like we've been working on in school. So before we begin, I just want to do a quick review with my different place values and such. So the first thing I'm going to do is go over how we draw to represent these different place values. To represent my ones place, I draw a little dot or a circle, or sometimes we call it a marshmallow. And I know that one of these equals 1, 1. To represent my tens, I draw a line, or sometimes I call it a French fry. And I know that 110, this equals 110. Oops. And to represent my hundreds place, I draw a square or a cube, or sometimes we call it a block of cheese to represent 100. So these are the graphics I use to practice adding and to represent my place values back. You can explain it to someone at home if they're not sure about this. So I know that if I have 10 ones, I know that that equals 110. I know that if I have 10 tens, that will equal 100. So 10 ones equals 110, and 10 tens equals 100. And I'm going to use those graphics to help me solve my addition problems. So I'm going to do one first to review, and then we can try a few together. So, for example, if I have the number 35 plus 47. If I want to solve this like I've been doing in school, I'm going to first look to see if my numbers are all lined up. So as you can see, my place values are all lined up, so I'm ready to go. To help me solve this, I'm going to make a H2O chart. That stands for hundreds, tens, and ones. I'm just drawing this out so you can see the difference of the place values. Sometimes we practice this in school with like the work mats and dry erase boards. This is just so you can see it better. My first step in this problem is I'm going to look at the number 35. I'm going to ask myself first, how many tens do I have in the number 35? I know that I have 3 tens in 35. So I'm going to draw 3 French fries to represent 3 tens in my tens column. 1, 2, 3. Then I'm going to ask myself, how many ones do I have in 35? I know that I have 5 ones in the number 35. So I'm going to draw 5 marshmallows to represent 5 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 tens and 5 ones equals 35. Now to represent 47, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to use a different color marker so you can see the difference of the numbers. I'm going to ask myself again, how many tens do I have in the number 47? I know that I have 4 tens in the number 47. So I'm going to draw 4 tens in my 10 column. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I'm going to ask myself, how many ones do I have in the number 47? I know that I have 7 ones in the number 47. So I'm going to draw 7 ones or 7 marshmallows in my 1 column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Once I drew both sets of numbers, I want to see if I can do any regrouping or lassoing. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to remind myself, I know that 10 ones equals 110. So I'm going to look at my ones column and see if I can do any regrouping. I see that I do have more than 10 ones. So I'm going to take a group of 10 ones, I'm lassoing them up, and I'm going to move them to my tens column to represent 110. Because I know that 10 ones can be turned into 110. So I'm going to cross that off. Now I'm going to see if I can make any hundreds. I'm going to remind myself, I know that 10 tens will equal 100. let's see if I can do any regrouping to see if I can get 100. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tens, so not exactly enough. So once I did all my regrouping, I'm ready to solve my problem and see what I have left. I'm going to start in my ones place because I know that ones always comes first. So I have 1, 2. I have 2 ones, and I'm going to go to my tens place, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 tens. I have 8 tens and 2 ones, so my answer is 82. Now I'm going to go back over to my original addition problem and solve it a traditional way and see if I get the same answer. So to do this, I'm going to start in my ones column because ones always comes first. I can do 5 plus 7, or I can do 7 plus 5, because when I'm adding, I can go in any order. So I'm going to do 7 plus 5. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 7 plus 5 is 12. So to write this, I'm going to put my 2 down for my ones, because I'm in my ones place, and I'm going to move my 10 next door to be with the rest of my tens. Now I'm going to ask myself, 4 plus 1 is 5, and then 5 plus 3 is 6, 7, 8. 82. 82 and 82 match, so I know that my answer must be correct. Awesome job. Let's try some more together. You can use a piece of paper, or if you have a whiteboard, if you just want to follow along, feel free to do some more problems with me. For my next problem, I'm going to do 63 plus 57. To help use this, I'm going to use my hundreds, tens, and ones chart to help me solve this problem. The first thing I'm going to do is look at the number 63, and I'm going to ask myself, how many tens do I have in 63? Right, I have 6 tens in 63, so I'm going to draw 6 tens in my tens column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then I'm going to ask myself, how many ones do I have in 63? Right, I have 3 ones in the number 63. So I'm going to draw 3 ones, or 3 marshmallows, in my ones column. 1, 2, 3. 6 tens and 3 ones represent 63. Moving on, I'm going to look at my number 57, and I'm going to ask myself, how many tens do I have in 57? Right, I have 5 tens in the number 57. So I'm going to draw 5 french fries, or 5 tens, to represent that in my tens column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm going to ask myself, how many ones do I have in the number 57? Right, 7. So I'm going to draw 7 ones, or 7 marshmallow, in my ones column to represent 57. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 5 tens and 7 ones represents 57. Now I'm ready to solve. I know that I start in before I do this, I want to see if I can do any regrouping. So the first thing I'm going to start with is in my ones column. And I'm going to remind myself that 10 ones equals 1 10. Can I make a regroup here? Can I make any of my ones into a 10? Yes, I can, because I see that I have 10 ones, and I know that I can regroup that to make 1 10. I'm going to cross that off so I don't get confused. Now I'm going to ask myself, can I regroup any of my tens to make 1 100? Yes, I can. Awesome job. I know that 10 tens equals 1 100. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to lasso these 10s up and move it to my hundreds place. And I'm going to cross it off so I don't get confused. That's all the regrouping I can do. So now I'm going to solve. I'm going to start in my ones place first because ones always comes first. I have no ones left, so I need to put down a 0 to represent 0 ones. I have 1, 2, 2 tens, and 100. 100, 2 tens, and 0 ones equals 120. Now I'm going to solve it a different way using my traditional style. I'm going to do the same thing. I know that I can add in any order, and I'm going to start in my ones place because ones always comes first. So instead of doing 3 plus 7, I'm going to do 7 plus 3 to make it a little easier. So 7 plus 3 is 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to put my ones down to my 0, and my 1 or my tens place is going to go next door. I'm going to ask myself, 6 plus 5 is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, plus 1 more is 12. I'm going to write the number 12. 120 and 120 equal each other, so my answer must be correct. Awesome job. Let's try one more together. Oops. If I have the number 63 plus 28, I'm going to use my HTO chart to help me solve this. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is ask myself, how many tens do I have in the number 63? Right, I have 6 tens in 63, so I'm going to draw that out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I'm going to ask myself, how many ones do I have in the number 63? Right, I have 3 ones in 63, so I'm going to draw 3 ones. 1, 2, 3. 6 tens and 3 ones equals 63. Moving right along to my next number. I'm going to look at the number 28. I'm going to ask myself, how many tens do I have in the number 28? Right, 2. So I'm going to draw 2 tens in my tens column. 1, 2. Then I'm going to ask myself, how many ones do I have in the number 28? Right, I have 8 ones in the number 28, so I'm going to draw that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 tens and 8 ones represent 28. Now I'm going to see if I can do any regrouping. I know that if I have 10 ones, it will represent 1 10. Can I do any regrouping in my ones? Yes, I can. I see a group of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to lasso up those ones and move it to my tens column. Cross it off so I don't get confused. Can I lasso up any tens to make it a 100? No, I can't. I don't have 10 tens. So now I'm ready to solve. To do this, I'm going to start in my ones place because I know that ones always comes first. I have 1 1. Let's see how many tens I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9 tens. 9 tens and 1 ones equals 91. Let's solve it the other way now, the traditional way. I'm going to start in my ones column because I know that ones always comes first. I know that I can add in any order, so I'm going to put 8 in my head and add 3. 8, 9, 10, 11. 8 plus 3 is 11, so I'm going to put down my 1 for my ones place, and my 10 is going to go next door. 6 plus 2 is 6. 7, 8 plus 1 more is 9. 91 and 91, my answer's the same, so I know I have the correct answer. Awesome job, friends. Keep on practicing adding at home this way. You can make up your own math problems. If you do this at home, post it in the comments. We would love to see what you have been doing. Keep on practicing your adding. See you later.